What's up, everybody? My name's Craig. If you don't know this channel already, we are Sports Talk Detroit, where me and my buddy Chris do videos on everything Detroit sports. And right now I am doing player preview, season previews of all the Detroit Piston players heading into the season and even beyond. And right now we are going to be talking about Frank Jackson, everybody's favorite Piston, right? All right, maybe. This is a 6'3" guard, about 200 pounds, and he kind of came out of nowhere last year. He was on a two-way contract. Nobody was expecting much. He's a guy who had been shooting 30% from three his whole career. And he got some playing time with the Pistons last year after we made a couple trades. And all of a sudden, in the last 40 games, he went off. He was shooting over 40%. He was getting a ton of looks from three. And by the last 10 games of the year, he was just straight scoring. That's what he was doing. It didn't matter if it was from three, mid-range, in the paint. Like, he was just a straight scorer. I don't know what that looks like on a better team, but for the team the Pistons had to end the year, they were looking to him to score a lot of points. But I also have some questions about Frank Jackson. And I want to start with this question for all of you. Do you love him or do you hate him? You can go in between, but that's a cop-out answer. You got to choose one. Love him or hate him. You could love him for a few reasons. I wrote him down. He can flat out shoot the ball. He can. He's a good floor spacer. He's a scorer. Okay? He has great energy. He has great hair. These are all good reasons to love this guy. I think that is really, really true. And he's good enough off the bounce, and he's a decent defender. So those are good reasons to like Frank Jackson. But we also have some reasons not to like him so much. And that is a lack of positional versatility. In the NBA these days, we talk about how important it is that you can play multiple positions across the board. Frank Jackson is a shooting guard. He is an undersized shooting guard at 6'3". Originally, he was brought up to be a point guard. That's what we thought he would be in the league. He's not a point guard. He's a two guard. He's a scorer. That's what he does. His handle's not good enough to be a point guard. His vision's not good enough to be a point guard. So he can guard the point guard. He can guard the two guard. But he can only play one position on offense. And that positional lack of versatility is something that is difficult. He can become a nightmare matchup on D. Now, if he's in and you have Cade Cunningham playing the point guard, you're going to be okay because you can put Frank on their point guard, and that will be okay. But that's a limited basis, which I don't think they're going to ask Cade to do all that much this year. He's going to be an initiator, but I don't think they're going to have him running point, especially early on in the year. And then the last reason you might not like him is you have to ask the question, is he a one-trick pony? Was it a one good year on a bad team, and now that's over? The staff doesn't think so. Troy Weaver doesn't think so. He just signed him to a 3-year contract. So he obviously thinks that he has something in Frank Jackson. And I think, I didn't even put this down, but I think the other reason you might not like him is, do you feel like he's going to steal minutes from guys with a higher upside? Guys like Hamidou Diallo, guys like Cade Cunningham, guys like Sadiq Bey. Do we feel like they have a higher upside? Or do we think Frank Jackson really can be a legit third or fourth scoring option on a team? I don't know. I think his best role could be as a sixth man coming off the bench. This is his ceiling, where he just comes in and just straight gets buckets. And that's what he does for you. So here are my big questions for Frank Jackson. Number one, I told you how he came in here. He came into the league. They thought he would be a point guard. He ends up being an undersized two guard who can shoot. Remind you of anyone, Pistons fans? Langston Galloway. That's my first big question. Is Frank Jackson Langston Galloway just undercover? That's the first one. The second one is, can he get his hands on more balls defensively? We know he's not going to be the tallest defender, but can he get scrappy enough where he's getting more steals, getting into passing lanes, things like that? And then we again have to ask the question, is he a one-year wonder? 2 years prior, shooting 31.5% from three. Last year, he was over 40%. I like the trends with the Pistons right now. They have a lot of guys that came in not shooting great three-point numbers, and they just posted career best. The question is that going to stick? Are they truly better shooters? Or was it just one of those freak things where the buckets at Little Caesars Arena were maybe a little bit bigger? All right, so my question for you, leave a comment below. What do you think Frank Jackson's ceiling is? What do you think his floor is? Is he going to be a pivotal part of this team and a core part of this team going forward, or is he going to get lost in the shuffle? Leave your comments below the subscribe button, and as always, please consider subscribing if you like this channel. Go Pistons!